Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you to organizer for calling me, and it's an excellent initiative. So just to start with, first I would like to explain that how the ADB strategy works. ADB strategy is about finance, knowledge, and partnership, which brings in everything together, how we can actually bring in better results. So if we move to Pakistan, I think the biggest thing or most important thing which has happened from ADB's perspective is that we have just now in this year approved a country partnership strategy for 5 years, starting from 2026 to 2030. And it has three main pillars. One is private sector enablement, second is inclusion, and third is resilience and sustainability. So the important thing is that all these pillars have to work. So when we see that in the context of Pakistan, because as you have rightly pointed out, that there are a lot of policies which are already in place. For example, last year green taxonomy was approved, which gives the right kind of enabling environment. Then we have national clean air policy, we have national adaptation plan, and right now the government has just come with this CPP. And the CPP, most interestingly, when I was going through CPP, the most exciting thing about CPP is that it has actual projects listed, which can be done. There's a list of projects which are workable, either they are bankable or they can potentially convert it into a bankable project, which is something which is very encouraging when you see in this overall environment. So now, based on that, if you correlate all these things together, and with our approach in terms of finance, knowledge, and partnership, the second thing is that there's our internal institutional philosophy which talks about one ADB. And within ADB, we are very fortunate from that perspective that we have all the three pillars which are working. One, we have sovereign financing, which is available and which works very closely and in close contact with all the developing member countries, and which supports them both on the knowledge side, partnership side, and in actual delivery of infrastructure projects. As you rightly pointed out, that we are working on a regional grid, and we have allocated about $50 billion for creating a regional Asian grid. And there's another $20 billion which has been allocated for digital transformation in the same project. So if we move to our institutions, we have a sovereign side, we have a non-sovereign private sector operation side, and there's a third side which is our market development side. So with all these things, we work together for the ecosystem. So if now we move to ecosystem, that how it will be actually be done. Because on the ecosystem side, there are things which have to be done on the policy and regulatory side, on the upstream. If we come to the midstream, then we need to have preparation facilities for making and the capacity for making the projects bankable. Either they are on the private sector, or maybe if they are PPPs, public-private partnerships, to how to structure them rightly, so they can mobilize the right kind of financing structure from all segments of the market, whether that be banking markets or capital market. And third thing is that on the downstream, in terms of actually driving the projects, whether they are sovereign, we have heavy investments on the energy side. But now how to relate all those things or how to connect those things. Right now, we are working with a sector development program, which is specifically for air quality within climate change. And that is spread over a period of about 5 to 7 years. And that's an initiative above about $1.5 billion. So that precisely work on the overall ecosystem, which is very important for people to understand that we simultaneously will work with all the stakeholders. The first portion is how to improve for example, in case of air quality, how to improve or operationalize whatever we have right now in form of national clean air policy, what improvements are required, and how it can be coordinated with all the provinces. Because the country has a very diverse structure in terms of working at the federal level, then there are provincial level, and how to sort of coordinate between them. Then the second thing is that they need to have the right kind of data collection and availability of data and MRV around that. So once we have that data, we have our carbon policies in there to provide that viability gap bridging. So from there, then we will move on to actual preparation of the projects. And for that, we are giving actually for the policy change, we are supporting government with the budgetary support, as Murtaza has rightly pointed out in terms of how the budgetary support works. We are going to give a policy-based loan financing, which is fiscal support to Government of Pakistan, and that would be approximately 350 million for the first tranche, which is sub-program 1. And in that, the other thing is $150 million for financial intermediation loan, in which we will work with Central Bank, State Bank of Pakistan. On one side, we will support them in terms of operationalizing the green taxonomy, how to do that. Secondly, we provide them structured instruments, which we will work with the local banking market, that how to sort of support the green projects. And the third thing is that we will be providing technical assistance in the grant facilities to all the stakeholders who can actually bring the things to fruition. So under this thing, or under this project, and this would be sub-program 1, and then it will be followed by sub-program 2 and 3. And the approach is that we keep on working with the government and try to make structures so which can actually convert the projects into bankable and workable projects. And once you build that momentum, then the things will start happening. And then we will probably see these gaps coming down. And once the proof of pudding is there, then there's a lot more confidence for other stakeholders to move forward. Thank you.